Joe Hopkins here, and today is 9/11. The 9/11, the thing that happened, has been 24 years ago now, and I thought maybe we'd just think about it a minute. Remember, where were you when that happened? And a lot of people at this point weren't even born yet. A lot of people that are around now don't remember it. And that happens. I mean, I wasn't around when a lot of things, important events happened in my parents' life, and, they weren't around when Pearl Harbor happened. My grandpa remembers that one, or remembered when he was alive, he remembered it. But 9/11, that's like the big one for those of us who are like, middle-aged people. That was a pretty big thing that happened, I remember where I was. I was in bed. I was still in bed. I'd been married for like a year and a half. I'd been working at the career I'm still at. I had been working at for a year and a half. And my wife and I had just finished building our first house. And they were coming to hook up the satellite TV on September 12th. I remember that because I didn't have TV yet. It was a day away. One day away. We just moved into the house, didn't have internet, didn't have TV, didn't have anything, right? And we're in bed just kind of waking up. And my mother-in-law called. She called and she told my wife, she said, they're bombing your country. They're bombing your country, right? A little bit of, she's not from the U.S., so it's your country, right? I guess. I don't know. She's a citizen now, but she wasn't at the time. And, kind of freaked us out. They were like, what do you mean bombing? She said they were bombing us, I guess, miscommunication, language barrier. And we had no idea what the hell was going on. You know what I mean? But I remember I had the day off, and my wife did not. And it was a lot of concern about, where is it safe to go? You know what I mean? Because stuff was happening. I mean, my mother-in-law had been watching it on TV. Her and my father-in-law were sitting there watching the news in the morning, and they saw the first plane hit. And they're like, that's a terrible accident. That's a horrible tragedy. And then the second one hit, and they're like, that's not an accident. And then obviously one hit the Pentagon, and there's another one that went down in Pennsylvania. And that's about the time she called us, because maybe we should know what's going on. She knew we didn't have TV yet, and we're probably still asleep. We both worked evenings. You know what I mean? I got off work at midnight. She got off work at like 11 p.m. So we were still in bed. But yeah, it kind of like, what the hell's going on? So then we start making phone calls, trying to find out what in the world's going on. Drove down to the rental place. The place that sells furniture, and they also had a video rental store in there back when VCRs were a thing, you know what I mean? DVDs weren't even that big yet. Mostly you rented VHS tapes. So we went down there because they had a bunch of TVs set up, They sold furniture and appliances, and they sold TVs. So they had them on. We went down to find out what was happening. My wife was really concerned about going to work that day. At the time, she worked at Citibank. And there was this question, are there more planes? Are they going to hit stuff? What kind of stuff? You know what I mean? And she's working at a large financial institution, like, I don't know, an hour away from D.C. So are they targeting government? Are they targeting finance, business, that kind of thing? They hit the World Trade Center, so... my wife's working at one of the largest call centers in the U.S. Could that be a target? People were worried. Is it just planes? Are there going to be, guys running into buildings with bombs strapped to them? Nobody knew, but they had her go into work that day. They didn't give her the day off. They sent her home early, though, because, surprise, surprise, there was very little customer service going on that day. Like, nobody was calling their credit card companies. You know what I mean? No surprise there. That's your credit card statement or what your balance is the least of your worries at the moment for most people. I did drive east, though, to Hagerstown that day. I wanted to get out. I'm like, I gotta, I got to get out. I can't just sit around all day. There's like no traffic on the roads at all. Keep in mind, I'm talking about Hagerstown, Maryland. That's like an hour from D.C. It's not very far away from where some of this stuff's happening. So there's like no traffic on the roads. Kind of freaky. I had the highway to myself. No cops. You could drive whatever speed you wanted. All the cops were busy. You know, I think they all got called down to D.C. You know, every available dude they could get was going to D.C. or New York. So, but anyway, yeah. I remember when that happened. I remember the aftermath of it. I remember a lot of the fear, the paranoia, all of a sudden everybody got weird about anyone they thought might not be from the U.S. My mother-in-law got scared to go places. Like the cops would really give you the evil eye if you didn't look super white. You know what I mean? Which I do. My wife, not as much. She's very pale-skinned, very fair-complected, but you could tell she's something. And yeah, that wasn't a fun time to be something or to be around something. So I go places with my wife, and we stopped going certain places. You know what I mean? So, there was a big pivotal event in U.S. history. And I don't know how many people remember it. I remember, everybody was really worked up after that, and understandably so. People were angry, people were shocked, people were dismayed. It was an odd time to work in the prison system because there's a large Muslim community in prison. And yeah, man, at the jail I was working at, the majority of the staff was white and very redneck, with a majority of the inmate population being not so white, and a lot of them are Muslim. So that was a weird, tense situation. I wouldn't want to go through that again, to be honest with you. Everybody was kind of worried about everybody else for a little bit there. So, but where were you? Where were you when that happened? Do you remember when that happened? Or are you too young? If you're too young, that's okay. Something big is going to happen in U.S. history while you're around. And then someday you'll be remembering it. Yeah. So there we go. That's my remembrance of it. Maybe you have a different remembrance of it. Maybe you were closer to it. Maybe you were further away. You know what I mean? I wasn't right there where it happened, but where I live isn't that far from New York, and it's really close to D.C. So it was like almost in my backyard to a certain degree. And where that plane crashed in Pennsylvania, that's really not very far from where I'm living now. That's like maybe an hour drive, if that. So yeah, that was right around me. I think this area, on the East Coast here, the Mid-Atlantic area, was a little more impacted because it was here. So maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.